Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created with my January 2020 Counterfeit Kit Challenge Kit or my December 2019 Christmas Stash Kit, however you want to look at it. This video will be on both playlists for January and December. I had started playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life doing the 30 days of sketches. This is actually sketch number 30 from her November 2019 sketch challenge. And so this is the final one for her. And because December was 31 days, I have another sketch that I added on. But in the course of deciding to do this whole process, I was going to do it in December and just, do a layout every day. And life happened and that didn't work out so well for me. So I finished up part of the layouts in December and I am just carrying over into January to finish these out. And you will see them probably all the way through the month of February before I get them all finished, all the editing done and uploaded to YouTube. Anyway, so the photo is of my husband and my granddaughter, and she is a Grumpy's girl. We call my husband Grumpy instead of a papa or a granddad or whatever. He is a Grumpy. And so whenever she's at our house, she is totally his girl. She wants only Grumpy time. As she's gotten a little bit older, she likes a little bit more sweetie time, which is what I'm called. But yeah. Still, if he's outside doing something, she's going to be right there with him. Or if he's in the living room watching TV, she's going to be right there with him. She just loves that guy so much. And, the feeling is reciprocated. But how can it not be with your kids and grandkids? You know what I mean? So here you see me. I'm putting my title down because I already know what it's going to be. And I'm using those chipboard alphabets from Sticko. And I'm putting it along the edge of my rulers there. And then I'll make up my mind where I'm going to place it. I thought initially I would place it below the photos, but then I ought to change my mind and I'll move that over. And so I decided to put it right there along the edge. And because these are chipboard and they have cruddy adhesive on the back of it, I'm adding some adhesive. It's the Scotch brand adhesive. I think it's called Tacky Glue now, and because it kind of comes out kind of thick out of that bottle, I just pat it around on the back of those letter tiles and then wipe off my little palette knife on a roll of paper towels that I have there. And so you see, I'm just putting the alphabet down, the title down there, and it fits, it snugs in there really well, that time right in between the G and the P on Grumpy, so it works out perfectly. And so I just put a little extra adhesive on that palette knife and then run it under the edges of those letters that are still sticking up just a touch, especially on the longer letters, the Y, the P, and the G. And I think, the pattern paper on the background is actually a Heidi Swap paper, I believe. And it has a caption there on the bottom. It says holiday something, holiday snapshot. And I wasn't sure I wanted to leave that down as, an embellishment down there on the paper. As I'm putting the other stuff down, I'm thinking about it. This is one of the washi tapes that I added in to my kit, and it is really old, and it's kind of like a lace pattern, a doily pattern, as you go along, and I love it, but I just don't use it very often. I don't know why. It's one of my goals to use washi, I think, on nearly every layout this year so that I can get some of my older stash used up. Here I'm trying out those embellishments that I've had them laying on my desk forever. There's the two metal bits and then the rose that I have on there. And I put them down on here, and I am just, the more I look at it, the more I realize I don't really care for the way this looks. And so I'm thinking to myself, can I get this up without damaging the paper? And I do on both of those. And so they'll go back on that little carrier sheet, and those will go over to the side. I would love to be able to use that rose. I love that rose, but it is just so very big. And so I'm going to go through my embellishments to see what I have that I can use. I thought about using one of those little puffy shaker dealies, but I really I don't care for how it looks. It doesn't feel like it's big enough for right there. So I'm going to go through here and I'm just going to try some stuff out. I love the Christmas tree idea, putting that on there. So I add a little bit of foam adhesive to the back of it to see if that will work for me. And I don't know why I decided not to use it because it turned out super duper cute. Excuse me. That's one of the Christmas trees and that Santa are ones that I stamped and colored in. And I just love how they turned out. That I took one of the tags and I believe it had a squirrel on it. And so I put a little piece of ribbon that was part of my kit on there, and then I put it down and I fussy cut that little sentiment that's on there. I fussy cut that out. It's another image that I stamped, and it says, "We go together like Christmas and a sweater." And so you see me adding some additional embellishments down on the paper. The Santa Claus that I colored in, I know will go down there. And then I'm going to add some additional photo corners on the layout. And as I go along, I'm kind of debating on what I'm going to do with that bottom portion where the sentiment is already on the paper. And I've decided I don't really like it. And so I'm really debating on what I'm going to use to cover it up. I thought about some washi tape. I thought about a flower cluster. But I want something to signify this is at Christmas time because you've got that. It's kind of hard to see with the glare on the photo right now, but there's a halo of light behind my granddaughter's head where our wreath hangs on the wall in the living room. So this says Merry Christmas on it, and it fits over that title perfectly. And I'm just taking that little bit of sticker or flower die cut. I had used half of it on a previous layout. I just cut it into quarters and used it back in there, tucked it in. And so now I'm going to add in some of those little some of those little enamel dots around the layout. And it's basically my finishing touches. This one didn't take long to complete because it was pretty simple and I already had my paper and photos pulled for it, so it went together fairly easily. And that's one of the things when I decided to do this 30-day challenge is, you know, when you pull your paper ahead of time and you pull the photos that you're going to use with that paper, everything for me, once those decisions are made and I have a sketch, then it's really easy. It seems like everything flies together. And I don't think, maybe one or two in this whole series took me longer than an hour to make. For the most part, I think they took me like, 45 minutes to complete a layout because the hard part for me was done. As far as the placement of where the photos go and the background papers. Once those are decided and I have a sketch to decide where the other stuff goes, then it's just a matter of picking out which supplies I'm going to use. And so you can see I'm still kind of thinking about what else I want to use. I added some of those asterisks from the alphabet. And now I'm just looking through there and I'm thinking I need something else up in that corner. And so I had a little piece of the green twine and a little piece of the tinsel twine. Neither one enough to do much with, but too much to toss out. And so I do like I do when I, put banners down. I put my glue, my adhesive down on the paper and just glue it down. And I love how this turned out. And you guys hear me say that a lot, but I really do like how these layouts turned out. And I hope that in doing these layouts that I have inspired you guys to get into your stash and use up some of that product that you love and see how it makes you feel once you get it done, because I'm telling you, it gives me a great feeling to get this older stash used up. And I love how it looks. Anywho, I will see you guys on the next video. I sure appreciate you stopping by. If you like what you saw today, I would surely appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to see more layouts like this one, please hit that subscribe button. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next layout. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.